All right, I'm going to call to order a special contact committee meeting this evening at 7 p.m. Members are Cheryl Ramos, Tom Simmelink, who is excused this evening, and our alternate is Brian Sears. We have one order of business this evening, which is ordinance 11/2025, the impounding of vehicles. So I gave both of you guys copies of this. The codified ordinance, there's two sections in there. One is 3308. In that particular one, it lists the abandoned vehicles are allowed 48 hours. And then 3309 turns around and says 72 hours. So basically, this is kind of a housekeeping to make this a little more in order with each other. So they wrote ordinance 11/2025 to clean those up. So it will be left without permission after 48 hours in both of those sections then. So there's nothing to argue there. Is there anything that needs discussed or any comments or anything on this? Go ahead, Sarah.
I don't have anything against bringing the hours, making them match. My question is, and I get a lot of complaints about this from my constituents, what about junk or abandoned vehicles on private property that have permission to be there from the property owner?
Look
Well,
at
I
you.
think we can enforce against it if it doesn't have, I think we can go on private property, remove, this issue's come up before, and remove ones that don't have proper tags on them. If it's got proper tags, I don't think there's much we can do about it, but if it doesn't have proper tags and the license has expired, then I think we are empowered to remove it.
So this has come up before where, and this has been a while ago, because Chief Goodwin was here, where cars were abandoned, they were sitting there like for 3 months or more on rental property land.
But I think as long as they have permission from the property owner and it has tags on it.
Yeah, the proper tags is the key.
The key.
But I know that we have removed vehicles that didn't have the proper tags before. Because if you have an expired tag, you're in violation of the law, we can remove it.
Right.
So in one of the other, because I've been through this before, not with my own vehicles, but if they couldn't be operated and they've been there for a long time, that the police could remove them.
I
Have
haven't heard
them
about the
towed.
operation one. My only familiarity is with they don't have proper tags, because I know one of the issues we ran into where people had trailers, and we went and checked, and they had several trailers on their property, and all the trailers had proper tags on them, and so we didn't have any authority to remove the trailers, because obviously a trailer can't run, it's something that has to be hitched onto something,
And now we have ordinances about that,
yeah.
trailers. Okay.
So with that being said, is there anything we would like to do with this? And I guess I should ask, do we need, if we put this on the agenda, does this need to be passed in any time frame? Can it go for 3 readings?
They can go for 3 readings, but I don't know why you would need to go for 3 readings, we're just bringing in both of them into compliance.
Okay,
So it seems more of a common sense issue, and it's a cleanup issue, really.
just to get it passed.
It's a cleanup issue. The police officer, or the police chief didn't tell me we need this passed on an emergency basis.
Right.
But I would prefer that it be passed on first
Get it
reading
done.
because it's a non-controversial thing.
Right,
It's not
so
like
we
we're
don't have any
changing
issues.
something.
Okay.
We're just cleaning up the ordinance so they match.
Okay, fair enough. So hearing that, do we have any thing we want to, motions or anything we want to do on this one?
I'll move that we put it on the agenda tonight.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
All right, I'll vote yes also. Is there anything else to come to, from this committee this?
Oh, we have to vote.
No, okay, sorry. So the vote to put this on the agenda tonight for emergency passage, Cheryl,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
I vote yes also. Is there anything else to come between, or before this committee this evening? Hearing nothing, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, and we adjourn at 7:05.
Gee. All right.
Yeah.
This meeting of New Philadelphia City Council will now come to order. Would you please rise and remain standing for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Mr. Rivers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you please join me in prayer? Father God in heaven, we just humbly ask for you to just enter our presence here tonight, that you would guide and direct the thoughts and the words and the deeds of this committee, that you would fill in the gap where we don't have the abilities on our own, that you would lead us in the directions that we should go on any important decisions we have to make. Father, we thank you that we live in this great country. We thank you that we live in this great city. And we just ask that you continue to bless and keep the leaders of this city, the service workers of this city, the safety workers of this city, and the residents of this city under your wing of protection, Lord. We thank you for all the things you do for us, and we do this for your glory and honor, and in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you and welcome to our June 9th, 2025 council meeting. We'll start by roll call.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Here.
Mr. Lanzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippeth.
Present.
Mr. Sears.
Here.
Mr. Simmelink. Mr. Walker.
Here.
Let it be known that Mr. Simonic has been excused from our council meeting this evening. All right, everybody's had a chance to review the agenda. Do we have any additions to tonight's agenda? Mr. Walker?
Yes, Mr. President, I need to add on to the agenda, ordinance 11/2025 for this evening.
All right, do I have a second? Second. All right, thank you, Mr. Sears. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
All right, are there any other additions to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, accept a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
I'll make the motion.
All right, thank you, Mr.
I second
Crandall.
it.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, our agenda has been approved. Minutes, everybody had a chance to review our minutes from our last council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I accept a motion to approve. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Need a second.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Rippeth. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Abstain.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
All right, our minutes have been approved. Correspondence, Ms. Courtwright.
To President Kemp from Councilman Simmelink dated June 2nd, 2025. This is an email that states, due to medical reasons, Mr. Simmelink needs to be excused from the council meeting tonight. To Council and Administration from Executive Assistant to the Mayor Jamie Bailey dated June 2nd, 2025. This is the May month-end report for the Mayor's Office. To Council and Administration from Income Tax Administrator for the City Carly Luce dated June 3rd, 2025. This is the Income Tax Report for the City for May of 2025. To Council and Administration from Danielle DeMatteo with the Auditor's Office dated June 4th, 2025. This is the detailed trial balance, the encumbrance report with encumbrance details, the statement of cash position with month-to-date details for the month of May 2025. To Council and Administration from Mayor Day dated June 5th, 2025. This is a forwarded email titled Governor DeWine announces nearly $52 million to local communities to improve bike and pedestrian infrastructure. To Council and Administration from Mayor Day dated June 5th, 2025. This is an email titled Member Alert. bill to end inside millage. To council clerk from Treasurer Gerber dated May 6, 2025. This is the treasurer's investment and savings report for May of 2025. I forwarded this report to council and administration. To council members from Jamie Cunningham with Rewired Recovery dated June 6, 2025. This is an email regarding the upcoming Freedom Fest taking place on June 28th at Revive Church in New Philadelphia. To council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 6, 2025. This is a forwarded email from Tuscarawas County Auditor Larry Lindberg titled, "How much property tax does New Philadelphia receive?" And to council and administration from Mayor Day dated June 6, 2025, the mayor's report. And that concludes correspondence for this evening, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Ms. Courtwright. We'll move on to our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members, fellow administrators, and guests. A couple of things I want to touch on from the report I sent you earlier today. I've called a special meeting of the City Planning Commission for 2 p.m. on Monday, June 16th, so that University of Cincinnati professor and architect Michael McIntyre can present the final version of the city's master vision plan. The meeting will be held right here in the City Council chambers. And just a little background, students in Professor McIntyre's graduate program have been helping him create the plan, which will be a blueprint for city planners to follow well into the future. Once the Planning Commission approves the plan, it will recommend its adoption to City Council. This week, I'll be traveling to Columbus to attend the annual 2-day Mayor's Association of Ohio Conference, and I'm expecting lots of discussion about the proposed ballot issue to put elimination of property taxes before Ohio's voters. A citizens group called the Committee to Eliminate Property Taxes is collecting signatures to put a constitutional amendment on the November ballot. Media has quoted a spokesperson from the group as saying that this is an effort of last resort because the state legislature has failed to give taxpayers relief from high property taxes. Meanwhile, in response, last week, 2 representatives in the Ohio House announced that they have introduced House Bill 335, which would end inside property tax millage collections to Ohio's local governments. That would be devastating to operating budgets for counties, school districts, and municipalities like New Philadelphia. We depend upon property taxes to pay police and fire pensions and fill needs in our general fund. And as the clerk indicated, I reached out to the county auditor for some numbers on how much property tax the city receives on an annual basis, $2.1 million. And don't forget, some of that money is used to pay off the bonds that were used to fund the construction of the fire station. So that's something else that we would have to find another way to pay for those bonds if property taxes would be eliminated. So I'm asking all of you to reach out to State Representative Jody Salvo. She's asking for our reactions and some recommendations that you may give her. I suggested to her when I talked with her, a better idea would be reforming the property tax appraisal process used by counties. That's where the dollar amounts are assigned to the properties. So I'm looking forward to the conference and the conversations that we'll have on Wednesday and Thursday. That concludes my report. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Since you mentioned inside millage, could you explain that? Inside millage?
The inside millage is the millage that the county assigns to the properties in our municipality, the value of that.
So what's the outside millage?
The outside would be something that would be voted on.
So when we pay our property taxes, they're all voted on, right?
No. There's a portion of that, the inside millage, that is set by the county.
So when we voted for the fire station levy, that was voted in.
That was voted additional millage. That was
Additional millage.
outside the inside. Yeah. Yeah,
It's confusing. Okay,
but it still ends up in the same pot, property tax pot.
yes,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep,
thank you.
okay.
Any other questions for the
Any other
mayor?
questions?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Next up, Service Director, Mr. McAbeer.
I'm sorry, thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Today, they started removal of the homeless encampment down there off of West High Avenue by the bridge there. They was there to clear everything out. They have everything sitting over at the 250 West ramp, and then they'll bring in a hopper tomorrow and then load all that up. There's some stuff over behind the old, or not the old, behind the odd lots. They'll also be removing that tomorrow. And if we remember right, I announced months ago that that was all done through that grant through H2 Ohio to keep it out of the river and keep it out of the waterways. So they'll continue with that, and then they have the one down by the Newtown Mall also that they'll be removing yet this week. So I just want to make everybody aware of that if anybody would ask. Also, Franklin Square at the last council meeting, I announced that the contract will be back in for Franklin Square. Some material did not come in. They're supposed to come in today. I was told on Friday, it was in on a train, so, so when that does happen, remember, we got the 3 catch basins we're renewing that they gotta put back in each side of Allen Lane, and then that one down closer to 4th Street on that east side that holds all that water. And then the 4th Drive, the rutting that it did there. So they'll be in to fix that. Also, I want to bring you up to date on Glen Drive. They're going to do some exploratory digging on the 11th, which is Wednesday. There's some lines that I'm not sure exactly where they go, so they're going to go down, locate them, do that for the next, probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they'll mobilize in here on the 23rd. So if anybody asks around that area, I know Mr. Sears has gotten some calls on that, so the 23rd, Brian, go with that. Also, last week, the mayor and I had attended the Omega TAC meeting, and got some good news on the, I guess, preferred alternative route, or the plan, I should say, for the 77, 250, 39, all the way to Bluebell Drive. It's moved up the ladder. Central office in Columbus has okayed a plan. They want to do some more studies on it. ODOT has promised us, or said here's $700,000 for it, and Omega pitched in another $203,000 to move forward with that plan. So that is progress. It's been a long time coming. And what I was speaking with the mayor about was that, I see he had it in the first reading there as far as that Ohio Erie Canal. I just want to bring up about that, how, I can tell you how many meetings we've been in. We talked about that when the funds finally came in. I don't know how many years ago, we was talking about it, 5 or 6 years ago, we had went down to Gradall just to get the right of way, and then get it moved, and then got the fence moved. So we just been piecemealing it through, put the slats in, so all that stuff's been ready, but you're looking at somebody that I wasn't sure it was gonna happen. So to finally see it gonna happen, I know it's 2028, but I couldn't be happier. Him and I was extremely pleased that finally get to finish that 101 miles of Ohio Erie Canal. So, like I say, I can tell you that we sat through so many meetings, ran it up so many avenues for funding that didn't pan out. If you know, everybody knows we did it through the Appalachia, didn't pan out, but actually we got downtown, so now we got both, the 2 big projects we wanted. So I just wanted to bring that up about that project also. Can't wait for that to get started. That's the end of my report.
Any questions for Mr. McAbeer? All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, got one question.
Well-
Ms. Ramos.
About the towpath trail on Union Avenue, going up
Sure.
10th, across the Miller and then Union, then it joins at Dover. Is this grant gonna change any of those
Nope.
plans we hashed out with all
Nope.
those meetings?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
No, as a matter of fact, that'll be done this year with the small cities paving grant. We had to put it in there, so it's actually gonna save us in the long run. Cause it's already gonna be done in the small cities paving.
Okay,
So that'll be done here in the next 3 months.
okay.
Yep.
Because I saw on the list, the 28th that you're talking about, it said buffered bicycle lanes, but that
That may have
wasn't
been
gonna be
somewhere
on
else too.
Union.
That may have just been buffered lanes, but that didn't mean that was on Union.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, like I say, that project will be from Dover to Miller will be marked out this year. Yeah,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome.
We'll move
Thank
on
you.
to the Safety Director, Mr. Milligan.
Thank you, Mr. President, council, and guests. Reporting for the month of May, for the fire department, there's 318 calls, 284 EMS, 35 fire. Annually through May, we're at 1,632 calls, so we're holding about 10.8 calls per shift as a general average throughout the year. So continue to work with the new reporting system so we can expand our data reporting and look forward to receiving that information so we can give more detailed reports on specifically geographics of services that we're providing in the city and types of calls. For the police department, in the month of May is about just under 1,500 calls, so holding steady about 51 calls per 24-hour shift. Also working with Chief Bahovey and the administrative captain there on some data reporting and systems so we can look what data is available to us so we can begin to use that as I work with both departments moving forward to build 5-year strategic plans. So we've had good conversations with both chiefs and we're looking forward to kicking that off here in the next couple of months. We're just trying to gather all the data that's available to us as we go through that planning process. I do want to take a moment to recognize both the police and fire department that are participating this week in the Special Olympics run. So I appreciate their volunteering to participate in that important run here in the community. I also want to take a moment just to recognize, there's many different divisions within the police department, and I want to talk a little bit tonight about the detective division, which is Captain Norris, Officer Willett, and Officer Dorsey. That's something we don't often think about or talk about when we think about law enforcement, but Captain Norris has been with us 20 years, Officer Willett 25, and Officer Dorsey 13. And I just want to commend them on, there was an aggravated felonious assault and burglary that was last August. They were able to investigate, apprehend, and successfully prosecute and get convictions on that case. And so I want to commend them on a job well done over the last year working that case and ultimately successfully having some prosecution and conviction in that case. So just want to commend them, number one, on their many years of service here in the city and what they do for us as a division, and congratulate them on a lot of hours and hard work as it comes to investigating and successfully prosecuting that case. So just want to recognize them here on the floor of council tonight. So with that is my report. Any questions?
Yeah, how's it working? How's it working out? We've closed our jail and everything's out to sheriff's. How's that working out?
I've had no complaints, but I have to specifically ask that question with Chief Bovee. I think the closing of the jails helped them from a manpower position. It frees them up to be readily more available for service out to our citizens. So I think overall, seeing how I'll call it the industry, but in public safety, how that's moving forward, I do think that was a positive move for us as we move forward.
All right. Any other questions? All right, thanks, Mr. Milligan. Move on to Auditor, Mr. Gruber.
Treasurer.
Trey, I get
The
you
auditor's
guys.
on vacation.
You can do both.
There you go. I submitted the investment and savings report for May of 2025. We had gains of approximately $17,000 for the month. So the investments that are there, the First Federal Money Market Account, a government insured deposit program, and the meter, US Bank Meter Invest, that was the three that are investments, and that's what came out to $17,000. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gruber. Law Director, Mr. Fate.
Thanks. A couple of things I'm working on. One of them will be before the next council, and will be in Ms. Ramos' committee if you assign it to her. We're working on establishing a little greater control over downtown signs through the Sign Review Board. The First Amendment permits us to time, place, and manner restrictions on the type of signs that we have. Generally not looking at content, but we're looking at time, place, and manner restrictions, which are legal under the First Amendment analysis. And that's something that we're gonna be working on so that we have more of a uniform conformity to the types of signs that we're gonna be permitting particularly in our downtown area. And that's gonna be coming for the next thing. If you could assign that tonight to Ms. Ramos' committee, I would really appreciate that.
So it's fine.
Okay?
Just like that.
Thank you.
Saves me an email. And that'll be tweaked in our zoning code. That's where that would fall under, which is why I wanted it in Ms. Ramos' committee. The other thing that I'm working on, this was the first, I told you before, we get cases of first impression sometimes, and that used to happen to me all the time when I was a law clerk, because everything was brand new to me, but it rarely happens these days. And we had a group that came into town that wants to go door to door selling books. And they presented a legal document that said that because their books are from out of state, it's illegal for the city to require a fee for that on the basis that that's interference with interstate commerce. I told them I'd research that and look at it. My understanding has always been that if you were soliciting and you weren't practicing your First Amendment rights, like going door to door for religious purposes, going door to door for any type of political action, that those were things that you could not charge for, but anything commercial, I was under the impression that you could charge for. So we'll look at this and I'll review what they submitted. And I did put it out on the Ohio Municipal Attorney Association's website to see if any others had encountered that. And they hadn't encountered that, but a lot of them were very interested to see what I found out. So I'll stay tuned, I'll let you know.
All right, any question for Mr. Vate? All right, thank you. Move on to our commission reports. Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Planning Commission met today here in council chambers at 1 o'clock and heard a presentation from some developers who want to construct some new housing down on the south side in the 3rd and 4th Street Southwest areas. So the Planning Commission gave them some recommendations, so they'll be coming back to the commission next Monday during the special meeting to present a revised plan for that development. So the Planning Commission will consider that at that time, as well as the presentation from Professor McInturf.
All right, any question for Mayor Day? Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. McAbeer.
Just to follow up with what the mayor had said, so that everybody knows, that's that piece from, that the old Roth property between Church Avenue and Hayden Avenue. It's got that acreage right there, just so everybody got an idea of where that's
So
at.
how many lots would that be?
They proposed, I believe it was 9 duplexes in there.
Duplexes, yeah.
And they even talked about putting a pickleball court in there. So that was one of the proposals. We'll see what they come back with next week. But to the Board of Zoning Appeals, with no variance requests to be heard, tomorrow there will be no meeting.
All right. Airport Commission, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will be meeting tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Harry Cleaver Airport Meeting Room.
All right. Park Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Park Board will be meeting Wednesday, June 18th at 12 p.m. At the Park Pavilion.
All right. Let's see, Health Board, no, Tom is not here today. Move on to our council committee reports. Finance, Mr. Ruppeth.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report tonight.
All right, Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
All right. Zone and Annexation, Mrs. Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are going to have a meeting on the 23rd at 7 o'clock to discuss the McClave annexation.
All right. Move on, salary, Mr. Cranbill.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, Cemetery, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. The No report for tonight. The cemetery meeting for June was canceled.
All right. Contact and special, Mr. Walker.
But yeah, special, thank you, Mr. President. Special Contact Committee met this evening at 7 PM with one ordinance to discuss. We added that to tonight's agenda and adjourned at 7:05.
All right, thank you. All right, we're now up to visitors' comments. The floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state their name and address all comments to the chair. You will have 5 minutes. Any comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to council comments. Any council member with comments tonight? All right, we'll move on to the legislative agenda. Ms. Courtwright.
Ordinance number 9, 2025, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, to amend codified ordinance sections 555.3 B2, 555.4A regarding false alarms and declaring an emergency, second reading.
Is there any action we're taking by council on this ordinance tonight? All right, hearing none, we have our third reading at our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Ordinance number 11, 2025, an ordinance by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Ohio, to amend parts of ordinance 303.09A of the codified ordinances of the city of New Philadelphia and declaring an emergency, first reading.
Is there any action we're taking on this ordinance tonight? Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and pass this on the first reading.
Do I have a second? All right, thank you, Mr. Sears. And then discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
All right, the rules have been suspended. Mr. Walker,
Make a motion to pass ordinance 11, 2025.
do I have a second? Mr. Ramos, thank you. All right, do we have a discussion from the community, administration, council, roll call?
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Kreinbell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippett.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 11, 2025 has passed.
Resolution number 15.
Point of order, I don't think,
Oh, I'm sorry. How did I miss you? Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Okay.
COVID phone.
Resolution number 15, 2025, a resolution by the council of the city of New Philadelphia, Tuscarawas County, Ohio, authorizing the mayor to sign on the behalf of the city the programmatic agreement with the Ohio State Historic Preservation Office for the administration of programs using HUD allocated funds with delegated review responsibilities as authorized under 24 CFR Part 58 and declaring an emergency, second reading.
Is there any action been taken by council on this resolution tonight? Hearing none, we have our third reading at our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
Resolution number 16, 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a partnership agreement with the city of Uhrichsville for the administration of the Project Year 2025 Community Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP Grant Program, if funded, and declaring an emergency, second reading.
Is there any action been taken by council on this resolution tonight? Hearing none, it'll be held for a third reading at our next regularly scheduled council meeting.
That concludes legislation for this evening.
All right,
Mr.
thank you,
President.
Ms. Courtwright. Is there any unfinished road business tonight? Is there any new business? Hearing none, I take a motion to adjourn.
so moved, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Longo, 7:59.
Is it my eye
Thank you, everyone.
or the
Actually,
light's getting
7:57.
dim? They seem to-